Okay. Annika, what is your major program that you want to apply to?
So I want to do apply biomedical engineering, but on the pre-med track.
Okay. So you're gonna have to answer a lot of like major specific questions. So are you already like tackling that, or do you want to hear some
Um,
more?
I started like working on drafts for it, like especially for schools that are like, oh, why do you want to study your major? So I
Mhm.
started working on drafts, but I haven't like come up with a final answer yet.
Okay, so I'll quickly go over major specific questions. And for Trisha, basically, in each of your college apps, you're going to have around 2 to 3 essays. Short answer, some of them are long answer, combined with your like personal statement that you just talk about whatever you sort of your life and how you've sort of grown. So your major specific is going to be like, oh, why do you want to study computer science? Why do you want to go into medical school? Why do you want to study architecture or whatever? So my tips for the major specific questions are you're going to have a lot of them, so don't feel the need to rewrite every single one of them. Uh, Trisha, do you have an idea of sort of what you want to study, or are you still sort of like exploring?
I want to major in engineering.
Okay, so I can speak a little bit to that. Yeah, I can talk about engineering pre-med. Those are two that I can. So one thing, don't be afraid to reuse skeletons. And when I say there's a warning, I mean that one of my friends, he reused a lot of his essays and he actually kept like the wrong name of a school in his essay. So you need to really go through, proofread, and only use like the skeletons. And what I mean by that is like, I want to work on this project in this lab because blank. And here's all the experience that I have that can translate into blank. Don't reuse like, oh, I want to apply to U Michigan because blah blah blah. Just take the specifics out and put the specifics in. Um, Another thing that I sort of had was, excuse me, focusing on like the you plus them. So they want to see how you fit into their program. A lot of the times you might think like, oh, I just want to sell myself, but they want to see how you will fit into their school. So talk about for engineering, I would say, I worked on my school's robotics team and I learned these skills. You know, U Michigan or whatever has this robotics team that does very close work. I can help in this way. So you have to sort of combine the efforts that you do with the projects that they have and show that you can really work towards a solution that fits both of your needs. So Annika, for pre-med, you can sort of say like, I did this internship or I did this sort of, I have this sort of experience. Whatever school you're applying to has this program. I would be a great fit because. So really nail on the specifics and nail on the sort of you plus them combo. Some specific info, especially for engineering and pre-med, would be to look for labs, professors, specific classes. You would have to do some digging for that, but I think it's worth it. Projects that professors do, research, and papers. So, it will take a lot of work for these major specific questions, but a lot of them are long and they really they place a lot of their weight on the major specific question because for some schools, if you don't get admitted into the major that you apply to, they're not going to take you. They're only going to take you if you go in for the major that you specify. Um, do you guys have any questions on major specific questions or tips?
Is there such a thing as talking about like kind of like spreading yourself too thin in this question and talking about too many things?
Yeah, I would say like, yeah, I think there's definitely a possibility that you would do that. I would say, like on your activity list in your Common App, when you have that, if you're going past like you should really only talk about like your top three sort of things. So, if you're going past like number four, if you're really reaching for something and you're having trouble writing about it, I would say stop and find another sort of topic to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. And specifically for engineering, Trisha, I would say that you should develop. You don't have to, but join some extracurriculars at your school that focus on teamwork and maybe if you're interested, start a project on your own, learn some stuff on your own. They look for sort of, they want to see like your initiative and sort of stuff, and not just in like nonprofit world, but also like just like a regular project that you like to do.